When I saw that you could work on your own for your own money and be your own boss, that changed everything for me. Yes, I was tired because people will tell you, small business owners, you work harder when you work for yourself than you do when you work for somebody else. But the rewards of that freedom that you get is priceless. The freedom of not having to clock in, but you still clock in, but on your own schedule, your own time. It feels so good to be free. But what happened is it consumed all of my time. It consumed me totally. And I backslid. I fell back from God, which was the major mistake. I don't care how many business moves I made that turned out well. The major mistake was stepping back from God. After that divorce, then I lost both of my parents. It was like bam, 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 back to back. I started overworking. I just threw myself into the business that I started, and I can tell you that I learned a lot. So I don't regret any of that time that I did that I overworked, because I still learned the value of time. And so many other things about owning your own business and what it takes to build your own. And so 2020 hit. Oh my God. Well, before that, my mom died and she didn't have any insurance. So my income tax was coming right after she passed. I took that and buried my mom with that money. Yeah, it's pretty rough. My aunt helped. She pitched in. We came up together with the money. And this is why I gotta fight. I gotta stop right there on that. That's a segue. This is why I gotta fight. I got 3 children. And I don't want them to have to ever worry about how they gonna manage, how they gonna live. Not just if I'm gone, but here and now. We're supposed to leave an inheritance for our children's children. How you gonna do that if you're not doing it now? While you're healthy, while you're able to. And like I said, my mom was a hard worker. She always was. But times were hard for her. And she was a single mom with 4 kids. And I would see her lose it all and get it all back again, because she was determined to get back on her feet every single time. But I also learned from her this survival mode life, because how many times can you keep starting over like that without losing a little bit of yourself? You know? I was thinking of this too. Another segue. The only time when DoorDash posted that post about her AdSense check, and it was $6,000 something, the most I've ever got at once is $10,000, and that's because of stimulus check on top of income tax a couple years ago. And I did take that and pay off bills and pay off debt and get my credit score up and all this and all that, right? But what I found to be true about that is that you can pay off bills, pay off debt, go off, pay this off, pay that off, pay this up, or whatever you want to call it, pay credit cards off, all of that, right? But if you don't take any of that money and invest it, you're going to find yourself 9 times out of 10, 98.86756 of the time, you're going to find yourself right back in that financial slump. Now, if I'm lying, tell me where it's at. And I can say this from experience of not having a 401k. I don't have anything saved. I'm talking about that type of thing. You have nothing saved. You have nothing put up for a rainy day. You don't have any IRAs, any stocks, any investments anywhere. You just paying your bills. If you just take the money and you only just pay your bills, what else do you have if something comes up, if a car breaks down, if somebody gets sick, if you miss work? God knows if you miss work, if you miss one paycheck. There was a statistic one time that said that most Americans are one paycheck away from poverty. Meaning if they would miss one paycheck, it would set them so far behind. And this is what would happen to me over and over again, especially in the last 4 years since the pandemic. And I went through loss after loss. I've learned that, you can lose something, right? And then try to get it back. But it's just not the same. You've lost something in that building and in that loss that's hard to regain again. And it's just so much. So much. And in those losses from 2020 to now, it inspired me to keep working for myself, right? No matter what, to keep working for myself, because I found out that that's where it's at. When you're clocking in, that's it. You're capped. You can make no more unless you work overtime, and then your whole life is at that job, right? So during the pandemic, the worst thing happened, but the best thing happened. I started my YouTube channel. God told me to start my ministry on YouTube. I had done it before. Like I said, previously in my marriage, we would do youth ministry. We would go from church to church. We would put on youth shows. We even start putting on our own youth show called Friday Night Alive. I've done ministry before, but, this here was different in front of a camera. Not so comfortable. Talking to sometimes 2 and 3 people would only watch, right? But stepped out on faith. And so I started doing that, started getting some therapy and some deep healing took place in 2020. I started Ubering, and man, was I killing it. One week, I think I made $700 that week, just Ubering. And I remember going to the dentist, pay for my own dental work and everything. I didn't have any insurance because Uber doesn't provide that yet. Y'all should think about that, Uber. Dental insurance, medical insurance, period. Maybe even car insurance. Anyway, so I went to the dentist and I had to show them my pay slips from Uber. And at this time, that's all I did because I caught COVID working at Big Lots, and they told me I couldn't come back until I was COVID free. Well, it takes about 3 months for COVID to leave completely, for it to be gone, even if the symptoms are gone, right? So I had to go find something. So Uber was that thing that I found to do. And I found that I loved it. I love talking to people. There were even people I picked up who were drunk to out the frame. I wasn't scared. I was like, okay, sir, come on, let's go. Or they wouldn't want to get out the car. I'd be like, well, time to go. This is your stop. I'm a people person anyway, though. So, you know, it blew my mind how many teenagers were out during the pandemic having parties. I'm like, ain't y'all scared y'all gonna get sick? No, let's just pile up together. We don't care. It's okay. And they would tip $30, $40 just to, can you take my friend around the corner, you know? And I'm like, wow. And, you know, I found this to be strange, that people will pay more for you to take them somewhere than they will for food. DoorDash, I found that, no. People don't want to pay more for food, but for you to take them around the corner, up the street and down the hill, they'll give you, I think the highest tip I got was $100 from a man, because he liked the Christian music I was playing in the car, and he just, and I was kind of a little embarrassed. He picked him up from a really, really nice neighborhood, and I had a little putt-putt box car, a Toyota Scion, but that thing, let me tell you, that car would get it. And it was spacious too, and tipped me $100. It was always when I stepped out on faith to do my own thing, because Uber and DoorDash, Uber Eats and Grubhub, you know, it's still like having your own business, because you're working your own hours, you're pacing your own time. If you don't want to work, you turn the app off. You just, you know, I've done Lyft. I've worked for Lyft, and then I did car rental with Lyft. That was hard because it was $321 a week, and you have to make the money to pay the rental first, pay off the rental first, and then you start making money. So I didn't really make any money doing that, and that was the last thing I did. Now I'm back to DoorDashing. But this is why DoorDash caught my attention, because I've been doing this since 2020, Ubering, and then I went to teaching. I went and started teaching with using my degree, and for the first time actually, and I taught for like 2 to 3 years, children with special needs, and oh my God, they softened my heart so much. Oh my God, those children. And so, but I even saw, even with that, working in my career field and using my degree, I still was not able to come out of financial debt. And that was frustrating. And then on top of it, I would just, okay, well, if I can't make enough on that job, on my main job, then I started working with clients and picking up 2 and 3 jobs over here. And then I was still in school too. Last year, I was still in school. I went back to school, okay? And I still found out that it wasn't enough. And I'm like, God, what in the world? And in the midst of that, he would tell me to move again. And so if you've been watching any of my vlogs, if you haven't seen it, you know, he's been telling me to go. So here we go. All I know is there's got to be a purpose. My mom used to say there's got to be a method to the madness. I don't want to say that, but it's got to be a purpose for the process. What if all your life, if you've had to struggle like me, like DoorDash, what if all your life was preparation for your purpose? What if all your losses were lessons for your blessings? Just a thought. It's got to lead somewhere. With God, it's got to lead to an expected end. It can't just be for nothing that you go through so much. I got a little cousin, shout out to little Brittany, who told me once, cuz I don't believe that you went through all of that for nothing. And with the gift that you have, with the voice that you have, because I sing, and I do so many things that I feel that God has gifted me to do, but have yet to see a breakthrough on the level that Dodash was sharing. And I want to thank her so much, and I've said it already, I won't say it again, for sharing the journey and sharing your success with us, as far and your failures, or your frustrations, for telling your story. Just thank you, because you've given me hope to know that it has not been in vain, and that it could just be 3 feet that I am from gold. That's another thing my mentor would say. I could just be a few feet away from what I desire to do. And this last move of God sending us out, me and my daughter, I heard him say, I said, God, what is this? Because I've been losing so much. You've been telling me to give up things. Now I'm not losing it. Now I'm just giving it. Now I'm just being obedient now to what you're telling me to do, right? I'm giving up everything, my entire apartment. This is a rental car that I'm sitting in currently now, that I got to fight to keep. I heard Dodash say that too. Oh my God, when I tell you our stories are so similar, even our ages are similar. Girl, what in the world? Sister from another mother. I don't know where my train of thought was going with that. But I know that there has to be an expected end. Yeah, that's what it was. God told me that this move would be partially a desire of my heart, as well as his will being accomplished. I've always wanted to travel the world and sing. Now, I'm in a band, so clearly I thought I'm going to travel the world with my band and sing. But my band members, they have families. They don't go around and go out much, traveling and going outside of our normal scope. Matter of fact, I'm home now because I got to rent a car now and drove from Texas all the way to North Carolina. Yeah. Because my band had a performance on Friday. That's how much I love to sing and do what I do with my band, right? But I see God putting the pieces together, traveling the world and singing. I'm traveling the world with my YouTube channel, and I'm singing on my intro. So if you don't really know me well, continue to watch. Let's watch and see what God will do together. It's a journey. We're all on a journey. We're meeting each other somewhere on that journey. So be kind, be compassionate, be prayerful. Keep me in your prayers. Whether I'm up or down, I'm always in need of God. I'm always in need of his mercy. I'm always in need of his wisdom, because, I'm a sheep, and sheep make crazy decisions without their shepherd. And so I'm going to stop the video here, but this is my rant. This is a little bit of my story. Of course, I can't tell it all, but I just believe God. If he can do it for one, he'll do it for another. He doesn't have any respect of person. And you've got to invest in yourself. You got to invest. If he's giving you gifts, he's giving you talents, he did not give them to you for you to bury them. Okay? Be faithful over a few things. He will make you ruler over many. I will not relent. I won't give up on the word of God. It is the first and final authority of my life. And I believe to see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. Amen. I survived on purpose. God does not have us here for no reason. We just existing to work and to just eat and die. No. If you do, I will say this, a lot of people saying just, you need to do a YouTube channel. It may not be for everybody. Street preaching, which y'all gonna see that in the next vlog. It's not for everybody, but everybody should be doing something, right? If you are a Christian, if you are a believer, you ought to be sharing the gospel of Jesus Christ somewhere, somehow, some way. Maybe not on YouTube, maybe not on the street corner, but maybe on the phone, maybe by text message. Somehow, some way, we got to get the gospel out there, because this is the last days, and the Lord is soon to come, and he's preparing a people for his coming. Okay, and that's why so many are being called out to be nomadic, like myself. And trust me, if he blesses you, then you're blessed to be a blessing. And if you won't do it with a little bit, you won't do it with a lot. So this could be your testing season. This could be your pruning season. This could be your season of abundance. But there's always another season around the corner that comes to try you. Try your faith. Remember that. And we ain't giving up no hope over here. Okay? Ain't nobody giving up no hope over here, Ray. Oh, insider from the movie Life. Anyway, okay, so now I'm ranting. I just want to say, keep fighting the good fight of faith. Keep fighting to stay afloat. You can't give up. You're too close. I'm saying that to myself. I'm saying it about me, but maybe somebody else is right there too. You're right at the door of the breakthrough. Don't give up. Push, fight, pray harder than you do anything else. Pray like it's all up to God, but work and fight like it's all up to you. Got to do both. Amen. God bless y'all.